Dr. James J.C. Cooley. That's right. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. All right.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah. James J.C. Cooley.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Wow, we got an absolute powerful. You know, May is the mental health day. So we got a guest that's going to be talking about that. And I tell you what, hey, Todd, before we even do anything, can we lock in all the platforms right now and get it started? I believe we got some technical difficulties at the radio station. I cannot hear anything right now. But chairs moving. But anyway, we want to start the show out. And I tell you, we got this guest that I love having her on the show, Michelle. She always bring it. She always educate others. She do so many great things. She's an national, and an international star with her own television shows, radio shows, and all that. And her thing is she loves to educate people on mental health. So I'm excited about this particular guest today. And she's been on several times. And how you doing, Michelle? How you doing?
I'm doing good. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. And we're excited to have one of the the champions of many, who's going to discuss mental health. And it's such a broad topic. There's so many facets to it, but she's going to break it down exactly what she wants to discuss and what she wants to educate the audience on.
Oh yeah. I mean, I tell you what, can you do the honors by introducing the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest?
Yes, the title of today's show is Breaking the Silence. Let's talk mental health. And we're having a sit-down conversation with Dr. Rhonda M. Wood. She's an award-winning international keynote speaker, best-selling author, and media personality. She's going to talk about the power of removing the stigma around mental health in communities of color, why silence is harmful, and how conversation fosters healing, the generational impact of unhealed trauma, and also how to initiate healthy mental health conversations in families, schools, and workplaces. Wow, Dr. Rhonda M. Wood, champion mental health and women's empowerment. She's a former corporate professional. She triumphed over depression, anxiety, and unresolved childhood trauma, transforming her journey into a powerful mission of transparency and healing. Determined to break the stigma surrounding mental health, Dr. Wood empowers individuals to heal out loud, fostering resilience, awareness, and self-acceptance. As a thought leader, she guides women to reclaim their power, make peace with their past, and embrace their highest potential. A trailblazer in media, Dr. Wood was the first American radio presenter of Break the Silence on the UK's womensradio.com, and now hosts the Dr. Rhonda Show, amplifying voices worldwide. Her work has been featured on ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, earning her 2 Presidential Lifetime Achievement Awards and United Nations Woman of Distinction Award. Please welcome back to the show, Dr. Rhonda M. Wood.
Thank you so much.
How you doing, Dr. Rhonda? How you doing?
Doing amazing. I am doing amazing. Thank you so much for inviting me back to the show. I'm so excited to be here and can't wait to jump into this juicy topic.
Yeah, it's a topic that need to be talked about a lot more, especially what's going on in our society, but also around the world.
Oh, totally.
Where a lot of people just ignore mental health awareness, and I think we need to educate them a little bit more. So, Dr. Rhonda, it's been a while since you've been on the show. For the people that might have not seen you on the show before, can you tell them a little bit about you, your passion, where you grew up, and why you are just so into what you're doing? You're doing so many different things.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Well, hey, I'm Dr. Rhonda M. Wood, and I actually grew up here in Maryland. I'm about 10 to 15 miles outside of Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. And my parents were native Washingtonians and the fans of the hometown football team. And I went to, grew up in public school. I lost both of my parents. They're both angels in heaven. And I raised 3 siblings at the age of 18, 19 years old. And one of my sisters has transitioned, but the other 2 siblings are doing amazing. And so that's a part of my legacy that I'm really super proud of. I believe, losing our parents at a young age and us sticking together allowed us to heal together. And I think that sort of started my sort of passion of the importance of prioritizing mental health and well-being. Because a part of what we were going through was grieving. And when you think about grieving, you think about, hey, let me give myself permission to feel what I need to feel in that moment to be able to function and move on and move forward with my life. So that kind of started my passion for mental health.
Wow. So that was tough. You had to raise your siblings. But obviously, and I know you did an absolutely tremendous job doing that.
Thank you.
First question I have is, why is mental health still a taboo topic in many communities of color?
Wow, that amazing question. So, stigma is sort of one of the greatest barriers to healing in communities of color. So I think for just far too long in our communities, we've been trained to pray it away. We've been told, stay strong. We've been told, suck it up. We've been told, be positive, all of these different sayings and cliches. And what happens is people feel like, oh, okay, so then my feelings are wrong. And pushing them aside is what's appropriate and what's right. And so what happens is you have communities of color who struggle in silence and in solitude, to themselves and by themselves. And what that equals is emotional pain and weakness, right? So when we think about people who are going through something, oh, they must be weak, right? They're not just a strong person. And so what removing the stigma does, and what it means is, you know what? I'm acknowledging that mental health is health. So in our communities, we don't have a problem talking about diabetes. We don't have a problem talking about high blood pressure. We don't talk about, making sure you take your medicine. Oh my goodness, eat healthy, do these things. So if we can normalize those types of conversations, we need to also be able to normalize conversations about stress, overwhelm, depression, anxiety, and trauma. We need to make sure that when we are speaking about issues that affect the body from the neck down, that we can realize the importance of also addressing issues that affect the neck up. And so part of our responsibility is to just create these safe spaces where we can have these open, culturally competent and compassionate conversations in informed, safe, confidential spaces where we can empower our communities to not only to seek the help that they need, right? To be able to speak up and seek the help that they need, but to be able to do it without shame and without judgment. That's how you remove the stigma.
Well, you mentioned people of color. I think that includes indigenous and other people of color. We got about a minute and a half before the break. How do we encourage, especially the men, to reach out and seek help? Because sometimes we're stubborn.
Absolutely. So again, it involves removing the stigma. So again, especially in communities of color, how are we raising our men? We are saying things like, be strong, tough it up, men don't cry. And if they are going through something and feeling emotional or feeling vulnerable, then all of a sudden they feel emasculated. They feel like they're less than a man because they feel like they have to be macho all the time. That is still a form of stigma. So again, men need to be able to be allowed the opportunity to have safe spaces where they can emote in peace, where we can have these healthy conversations in safe spaces, where we're being compassionate without the shame and without the judgment. It's the same. It's a stigma that is attached not just to people of color, but can be given probably even more harshly in some cases to men as well. The stigma that men feel is that they have to be strong, in control, in charge, be macho, and be this figure.
Hey, hold that thought. We got to take a station break. I tell you what, she is right. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more about this. And I tell you what, you want to be part of this conversation, all you do is go to the platform that you're watching this on, or pick up the phone, dial 1-888-344-1170. It's your life.
With Dr. James.
Life is filled with circles and cycles.
Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Viridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Cooley. I've heard so many powerful stories from women who survived heart disease because they took action in time. But I've also heard stories of women who weren't as lucky. The difference? Awareness, access to care, and early intervention. According to the American Heart Association, every 80 seconds, a woman in the United States dies from cardiovascular disease. That's more than one life lost every single minute. But did you know that 80% of heart disease cases are preventable? That's right, 80%. That means small changes like eating healthier, exercising, and managing stress can save lives.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm committed to making sure that more women survive and strive. Please join me in raising funds for the American Heart Association to support life-saving research, because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, let's spread awareness and help women recognize the warning signs before it's too late.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
$50,000. Your generosity will assist us in making a difference in the lives of the youth in our community. You can give online at CooleyFoundation.org. Remember that every donation makes a difference regardless of size. The J.C. Cooley Foundation thanks you in advance for your contribution.
Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley. Using humor, wit, and engaging storytelling, James paints a picture about his arrival in a rural Deep South town and realization that life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Viridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
It's your life.
Hello. Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. Hey, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. How you doing, Todd? How you doing over there, man?
Always good. Great show.
Great show. We this topic that we're talking about need to be discussed more often, not just during a month of May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, but mental health is out there every day. And Rhonda is putting it out there. She's a world-renowned speaker, television talk show host, podcast. I just put it like this: counselor. She do it all. And so, Rhonda, so we have mentioned about communities, culture in these communities. How can we turn that stigma that you were talking about into a positive thing in our communities? Because a lot of people kind of push back on, ain't no problem with me, ain't no problem with that, and walking around cuckoo like a cocoa pop. How can we change those thoughts?
Well, I think one of the main things we can do is to encourage people to get the support and seek out the resources that they require, that they need. Sometimes it's offering ourselves as a confidant, as a friend, as a support. It might be offering to helping people to get I might want to do some research and offer some resources. And resources can be, anything. It could be anything from, hey, let's go for a walk, to, hey, maybe we should consider pursuing some professional help, maybe in the form of talk therapy or things of that nature to help you to cope. But I think there are, again, a lot of this revolves around the stigma, Dr. Cooley. People being afraid to speak up, and because fear of judgment, fear of appearing weak, fear of rejection, fear of being labeled, just so many different things. So again, when you remove that and allow me to be who I am, allow me to be vulnerable, making sure that I am aware and have the understanding that I may have bad days, and that's okay. We have the hashtag, it's okay to not be okay. So when you pull all of those things together, I think that is the message that we want to send, particularly in communities of color, particularly with our men, particularly with our youth, all these sort of, vulnerable groups where I think stigma is very high.
Wow. So it's still about stigma. And I know that you mentioned at some time we need to seek therapy or bring others in. But that goes back to the case of most men. I'm talking about people of color. We don't think that we need anything because we don't want anybody to be in our business, or and we care about what others think. So we don't seek out for that. Now, I'm a different type of person. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. If I need help, I'm going to do it. What's some encouraging words or message that you would tell people that's stubborn, that they have problems, and they can't cope with certain things, but they still won't seek help?
Yeah. Particularly with adults, once we become adults, a person who's a minor or a child, you can encourage them and say, this is what you need. So it's almost not what you want, but hey, what you need. Once we become adults, it's a little more challenging. And of course, people are not prone to do things that are hard. We're programmed to, want the easy way, what's comfortable. And sometimes, whether we have mental health symptoms in the form of depression, anxiety, PTSD, even something, maybe even like stress and overwhelm, suggesting to someone that, things might be too much. You might need more support. Some people might, be like, what, you're right, or, might be prone to do it. and there are others, probably more often there are those who may not want to. And I think in those instances, one, you can strongly encourage, you can say what the benefits are, you can, maybe even share, your transformation or how it has helped you. I'm always sharing how talk therapy has helped me, or meditation or prayer or nature walks. Like, I have a ton of things, what I call, coping skills, self-care, positive affirmations, I call it my social therapy, whether it's calling a friend or, visiting a family member. So many different things that I do to kind of bring me out of whatever mental health symptoms I may experience. But to answer your question, Dr. Cooley, what do you do with people who may not want the help? Be there for them, not judge them, provide a safe space for them. Let them know that, hey, it's just between making sure they know that, what you share, you're allowed to be vulnerable, but what you share is going to stay just between us. So safe spaces, no judgment, and confidential. And in some cases, maybe providing an opportunity for them to make sure that they know that whatever they're going through, their feelings are valid. So if somebody says, hey, you know what, sometimes going to the grocery store makes me feel anxious, instead of the response being, what's that? It's just, see, you don't want to downplay their experience of what they're going through. So, saying, hey, you know what, maybe I can see how sometimes that might be, a bit difficult in certain situations. So sometimes just validating people's feelings might encourage them to want to open up more or get the support that they need.
So how does prolonged silence, a person need this, and they hear what you are saying, but then they're going to continue to be silent? Will that increase potentially the problem to another level by them not seeking help? What would you tell a person that watching us right now and that understands that, hey, I need help, but I'm just going to be quiet. I ain't going to talk to nobody about this, and it's going to heal on its own. It's not going to heal on its own. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I will say this, Dr. Cooley. I think silence is probably one of the most dangerous things that we can do, staying silent. I think when we are going through different experiences, and they don't necessarily have to be these big traumatic things. It could be a small thing, that might trigger my mental wellness. I think silence can be harmful, but open conversations provide the healing that is necessary. So silence is dangerous because I'm going to experience my pain, and it's going to grow not only in silence, but in isolation and in solitude. Because typically when we don't speak up about things, we isolate from other people because it's difficult to be around people and be going through something. We typically shy away, or if we are around people, we have to put on a mask, and neither of those are healthy habits. So what happens is when we keep things in, they get bottled up, and we're actually robbing ourselves of connection. We are preventing ourselves from being able to be understood. So we're preventing ourselves from being able to have understanding about what we're going through. And I think most importantly, we are preventing ourselves or keeping ourselves from just having relief. A lot of times if I'm going through something, as soon as I talk about it, I instantly feel better. Don't you? If you are going through something, as soon as you are open about it, no matter how hard it is, as soon as you are open about it, you begin to feel better. So that's why I feel like silence is harmful and it's dangerous. It delays our healing. But as soon as we begin to open up, we begin to feel the relief. The key is finding someone that you trust, to be open with, whether it's a family member, a close friend, or, or even a professional, a talk therapist. But I think the key is that the conversation, that's the first step.
That is the first step right there in conversation. I tell you, we're going to take a station break. But, wow, I want to pick it back up, what we're talking about right now. Because as soon as I don't know, when I had challenges or whatever, as soon as I start talking about it to somebody else that I trust, it lifted the pain. I tell you, whichever platform you're watching us on, whether it's E367, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and over 80 other live platforms. Welcome to the show. You want to be part of the conversation? There's a couple ways you can go to the comments and ask a question, or pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life.
That's right. Dr. James JC.
At Viridian Christian University, we believe education is
A
more.
Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
The future is here.
Now is the time to pursue the greatness in you. Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith meets future. We are a fully accredited, 100% online Christian university. We offer bachelor's degree, master's and doctorate degree programs, built for students like you. Affordable tuitions, 30+ degree programs, 100% online and flexible. Integrating faith with learning. Study from anywhere at your pace. At VCU, we do not just prepare you for a degree. We prepare you for purpose. Discover who you are. Grow in faith. And build a future that impacts the world.
Are you ready to start your journey today?
Visit www.viridianchristianuniversity.com.
Apply.
And dare to become an overcomer, because a bigger, better, and more impactful life awaits you. Get the new audio version of his book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, by Dr. James Cooley, on Amazon or wherever books are sold.
Check it out. Check it out. It's your life. Dr. James.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And I tell you, always, as always, Dr. Rhonda Woods. She always bring it. Educate her. Hey, Dr. T, you know Dr. Rhonda, right?
Yes, I do. How are you, Dr. Woods? Good to see you. Good to see
you in the house.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm always honored and to be able to pop in every now and then and to see what's going on and what's happening. And I'm absolutely loving the subject of mental health because, like you said, this being silent about it does so much harm. You know, it's something that needs to be talked about more. It needs to be accepted more. It needs to be in more spaces. So this conversation is really, really good.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
before we get started, it's something that I just love talking about this topic. We're talking about Meridian Christian University. I mean, I love. Yes, I'm the chancellor, but that's not why I love talking about it. I love talking about it because it gives folks an opportunity to further their education, whether it's a bachelor's, master's, or a doctorate, and people that are doing well and beyond that. We also offer honorary doctorate degrees, but we have over 30 degree programs. And I tell you what, extremely affordable. You want to say something about that, Dr. T?
Listen, you did an amazing job. I don't know if there's anything left to say, Dr. Cooley. You did an amazing job. But no, Meridian Christian University, it is 100% online. We are an accredited university, and we offer bachelor's, master's, and doctorate programs. And we also do have a branch that is the honorary doctorate program. And you're right, we try to make education affordable because we believe so much so that people deserve an opportunity, that want to learn more, they need to be able to have access to those opportunities and spaces. So we try to be that space and opportunities for others that want to advance their education. And so as you talked and as you mentioned, I'm like, yeah, you know, that's what we want to do. So feel free, you know, those that are listening, meridianchristianuniversity.com. We're on all the major platforms. Just type in Meridian Christian University and you can learn more about us and what it is that we offer.
Yeah, so I want to get back to this conversation because it's so important. As we mentioned earlier, May is mental health awareness. And Dr. Wood, Rhonda, has been doing this for quite some time. You know, speaking all over the world, bringing this topic to up because it's not just the United States; it's all over the world. And so this is so important that we are aware of some of the things and know how to seek help. We're going to talk about that a little bit in a minute. But Dr. Wood, you was talking about silence. The silence is the main killer. We have to break the silence. And you was talking about sometimes there's certain spaces that you have to be in, safe spaces where people are able to communicate and convey their thoughts. Can you pick it up with that?
Sure. So before we went on the break, one of the things that I said is that the conversation, opening up the door for the conversation is sort of that first step towards the healing, right? Because it's ultimately what you want. You don't want to be carrying this weight all the time, but the person, so whether it's a heart to heart with a friend, whether it's a person from your faith community, whether it's the professional, you know, in the form of a talk therapy session, it's the opening up. It's the not staying silent. It's the speaking up about it. It releases the emotional weight, and then it invites the support and the healing to begin. The moment that the healing begins, the moment we speak up and we begin to feel seen and heard.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, one of the things that I believe, and I think I experienced, and I think maybe a lot of people experience and hadn't really given much thought to it. I wondered if you can share a little bit about it. Is I call it that generational trauma that happens, and we may not really know like that's where all this come from, or this is where this particular behavior began. So what are some, I don't know, is there some tricks, or there's some things that we can look for and think like, okay, this may be related to generational trauma, something that happened so long ago, because I firmly believe that what happened in the past affects the future, but sometimes we may not know that, that it's all tied together. What are some things that we can look at and kind of see?
So one thing that I think a lot of people may not realize or understand is that when you have, generational trauma or unhealed trauma, it doesn't just go away, right? Even though it might have been years ago. Hey, you know what? This happened when I was in elementary school. This happened when I was 4 years old. Childhood trauma, when it's not dealt with, when it's not treated, when it's not healed, when it's not addressed, when it's not talked about, doesn't just go away. But what happens is it just gets passed down. So you have a child who grows up never really being able to fully express themselves, or never having talked about what happened in their childhood. You wonder, man, why is this person so angry? Why is this person so overprotective? Why is this person easily triggered? And so what happens, what we see is it produces these cycles of dysfunction, right? It produces, emotional suppression. We learn to suppress our emotions. I know many people who have been physically abused, or maybe even verbally abused, emotionally abused, maybe even sexually abused. And what they've had to do from childhood and through adulthood, if they've just suppressed their emotions. So you have these emotionally unhealthy people wondering why they're not able to just articulate, hey, I don't like what you said, or I don't like what you did, or this made me feel uncomfortable. It comes out in inappropriate ways. So, the generational impact of unhealed trauma is family dysfunction, suppressed emotions, not knowing how to articulate how you're feeling, or once something happens to you. And so when those things are left unaddressed, right? All of those emotional wounds, they come out in our parenting style. They come out in our relationships with our significant other. They come out in the way that we lead in our workplace, in our business, in our community. It comes out in your personality. When those things are healed, then you'll notice, man, I am in a much better place and probably much more likable, right? That's why I always like to say the healing process, the decision to get healing, it is a legacy decision, because it is one that affects so many generations after you. That's why people always say, you know what, the generational trauma, it stops here. I'm breaking those chains, and every generation after me, we're going to be mentally healthy.
I'm writing that down. Healing is a legacy decision. Amazing. I absolutely love that. I think that is great. I think that's really, really good. I like that.
And another thing, Dr. Tia, is all it takes is one person in your long family tree, your family legacy. All it takes is one person. When just one person has the courage to choose to confront their trauma, to face it head on, whether it's go to therapy, just speak up, speak their truth, they don't just heal for themselves. They disrupt all the generational cycles, and they create these safe, healthy spaces for the next generation to be able to grow and thrive emotionally and mentally. That's why I say it's a legacy decision.
It's a legacy. Hold that thought. We got to take some breaks. But you know what? I'm getting goosebumps. So, we have to put the word out, and we have to educate families, communities, leaders. Tell you what, if you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Todd will put you through, or go to the place that you're watching us on, whichever platform, into the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you will get you an answer. It's your life.
Life is filled with circles
Hi,
and
I'm Dr.
cycles,
Michelle
phases
Foley.
and
Heart disease
stages
research
that
saves
shape
lives.
It's that simple. Thanks to medical advancements funded by the American Heart Association, more women are surviving heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases than ever before. But there's still so much work to do.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm raising funds to support life-saving research because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, please join me in support of the American Heart Association and women's health.
At Viridian Christian University, we believe education is more than just a degree. It's a pathway to a purpose-driven life. Whether you're advancing your career, pursuing a passion, or building a new future, VCU's 100% online programs give you the flexibility to learn on your terms, anywhere, anytime. With expert faculty, personalized mentorship, and a faith-centered approach, you'll gain the skills, knowledge, and leadership you need to make a lasting impact. VCU offers bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, each designed to empower you for success in today's fast-changing world. Join a global community of believers, learners, and leaders. Ready to start your journey? Viridian Christian University, transforming lives, empowering futures. Visit us at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. That's ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Yeah. Come on. Hold up. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. Hold up. It's your life. Hold up. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Now hear this. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show.
J.C. Cooley.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. Hey, Todd, have you finished those 8 bags of popcorn?
I sure did. I'm glad I saved one bag left.
Yeah, one bag. You know what? Hey, Todd, I want to congratulate these two wonderful entrepreneurs. I want to congratulate them right now.
Hey, yay, Rhonda.
You all are doing so many great things out there. Rhonda, I've been knowing you for years. Dr. T, I've been knowing you for years. Just the things, the pioneer things that you guys are doing, vision, understanding, and focus, have led to the happiness, in my opinion, of so many people that was looking to find joy. Rhonda, you and I talk all the time. but you've been on this mental health awareness for a long time. You're doing great things. You got an international television show, radio show, everything over in the United Kingdom. And not only are you educating folks in America, but you're educating folks across the world, because mental health is not just a United States thing. Yeah, so I want to commend you for that. Dr. T.
Thank you.
You know you're my girl too.
Thank you.
Yes.
Great thing.
The powerhouse.
Viridian University, not just Viridian, but just you guys' character. That's what that speaks a whole lot of volume. Character, honesty, integrity, and ethics. And both of you all know that I talk about that all the time. And what you all are doing is you are inspiring so many people that to let them know that they can do anything that they set their mind to. From a mental health perspective, I believe that the topic today is so important, and I hope, especially men of color, women of color, many don't have a problem with adapting to this, but it's just us knuckleheads sometimes want to do it on our own, don't want to reach out for help, don't want to follow the steps that Dr. Wood is talking about. So my question to you, first of all, Dr. Tia, what are your thoughts and what can you encourage, and I don't want to call them knuckleheads, but hard-headed out there that they know that they need help, but they don't seek help?
You know, one of the things that I will say is that I think sometimes what happens is we get caught up in what other people may think. And at some point in time, everybody, regardless, if you think about the Bible, Jesus had help. Everybody at some point in time needs some assistance and support. So the fact that you need help or assistance doesn't make you odd, doesn't make you different, doesn't make you less of a person. What it should say is that you need some extra love or support or whatever it may look like at that particular time for you. So I would just say this: you are not alone. And more than likely, at least I found the experience that once you start, just like Dr. Wood was saying, once you start opening up, one, you're going to feel better, but two, you opening up and talking may help somebody else. So you never know what the next person is going through. So I would definitely say, don't let the whole stereotype and all of that stop you from seeking support or help. Just know you're not alone. And at some point in time throughout history, everybody has had to have some type of help and support. It's just what it is, because we're all human. We're all imperfect. So we need support at different levels at different times.
So, Dr. Wood, so a lot of people think that it's only mental health only occurs in older folks. We know that it occurs in children, young adults, mid-age, all that. What are your thoughts on the people that thinks that, well, my kid, my son, or whatever that is, don't need don't need any therapy or whatever, because they're gonna grow out of it?
I love that question, Dr. Cooley. So mental health can affect anyone at any time, at any age. Mental health symptoms do not care what age you are. It can affect people from the classroom to the boardroom. Mental health symptoms don't care how many letters you have in front of or behind your name. It doesn't care the square footage of your house, the amount of money you have in your bank account, the type of car you drive. In other words, Dr. Cooley, it affects the young as much as it affects those who are older. It does not discriminate one bit. So anyone can experience mental health symptoms. and anyone can need support or resources. And what that means is it means that we may need to just start small. We might just need to start with, hey, let's just have an open conversation. Let's start from a place of compassion. So, for example, in families, it might be, you know what? How are you really feeling today? In our schools with the young people, it might be about incorporating emotional literacy and building in check-ins for the students, right? In our workplaces and our businesses and organizations and corporations, it's up to the leaders, because that's who we follow. The leaders of these organizations, they need to model the vulnerability by being able to openly talk about stress, overwhelm, burnout, by being able to say, you know what, take a mental health day if you need to, or even instituting, hey, you know what, I see everybody's working hard. Tomorrow's a mental health day. I've seen.
Hold that thought. Let's close out the radio portion of this, and we still got 4 minutes once the radio portion closes out. But I tell you, I want to thank Dr. Rhonda Wood for taking the time to come on the show. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. I'd like to thank Dr. Tim. Always, most important, I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning into the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Always, always, always dream big, think big, be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time. Same thing. It is your life.
Your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. It's your life.
So we still got about 3 minutes. I want you to pick it up from that, because I think that was so important, what you were talking about, that mental health affect, it's not age, it's everybody.
Yeah.
So can you pick that up?
Yeah. So, I just want to close out by saying that I think we need to normalize, not sensationalize, open, inclusive, and compassionate conversations about mental health. When it becomes a part of our sort of habit, everyday language, when we're checking in with people and making sure people don't feel the stigma about it, we reduce all of the rejection and fear and isolation and stigma. So sometimes it's not about having all the answers. It's not about trying to fix things. It's about, hey, here's a space where open dialogue can begin and healing can take place.
So 30 seconds or less, what you want the audience to get from this absolutely great conversation that we just had?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think just for people to know, that we need to silence the stigma. Let's break our silence the stigma, and allow healing to take place, because that's where our legacy, healing is about legacy. And anybody who wants to connect with me, I'm Dr. Rhonda M. Wood, drrhondamwood.com, and Dr. Rhonda M. Wood on all social media platforms.
Hey, Dr. Rhonda, thank you so much again. Taking the time. You're invited back anytime you want to.
Oh, I love it.
You already know it. I'd like to thank everybody again, our viewers and our listeners. Tune into the James Cooley Show Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Always dream big, think big, and be big. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. It's your life.